The third step in the risk assessment process is business risk, which assesses the location footprints of the business operations of your organization, any potential risk exposure associated with outsourcing key functions of the AML program to any third parties, as well as examining the risks posed by employees in customer-facing or other key risk roles. The business risk assessment is comprised of three key parts. The first part is the business location risk assessment, which seeks to understand whether your organization has operations outside of the country in which it has its registered office, and if so, the countries in which your organization has business operations and the proportion of your overall business which is handled in each country. The second part is the outsource risk assessment, which examines whether your organization is engaged in outsourcing any anti-money laundering controls to third parties, since this may pose greater risks of non-compliance, and regulators expect that regulated entities that have reliance on third parties for supporting their money laundering and terrorism financing compliance efforts are subject to certain levels of oversight by your organization to ensure that the services being provided are being done in a compliant manner and not exposing your organization to AML regulatory compliance risk, since your organization and not the outsourced provider is ultimately held accountable for any compliance failures. The final part is the employee risk assessment, which examines your organization's total number of staff and the proportion of those staff that operate in roles which could present greater opportunities for employees or contractors being exploited by criminals to facilitate money laundering, or for employees to engage in money laundering activities themselves, since it's not unheard of for organized crime groups to place criminals inside organizations to carry out illicit activities for their benefit.